some updates to the initial warning that was put out by the NOAA in regards to the flooding. They are now stating that what we are about to witness is going to be, as they put it, unprecedented, and that this flooding is going to last until potentially July, at least until May and even July of this year. And to remind folks, we are going through right now what they're calling the worst agricultural disaster to ever hit us in modern history right now because of the flooding that hit Nebraska and Iowa. And you can see here from this map, this is what they're saying they're expecting here in the weeks and months to come. Much of the Midwest or Great Plains is currently covered by an average of 10.7 inches of snow. That is beginning to melt. They are saying that over 200 million people are at risk because of the flooding and what's about to happen and what has already happened. If you've missed it, soy, corn, wheat, cattle have all been wiped out in record amounts. People are just going to start seeing the prices begin to creep up here in the coming weeks to months, and this is going to be a continuing trend throughout the summer. I'm warning people now. This is why we're working on greenhouses and doing other things and getting prepared throughout the next year for what is to come, because the flooding, as they're predicting, is only going to get worse in many different areas. In the way that the weather is getting spun up, I wouldn't doubt it one bit if there's pressure added to these areas to where you're definitely going to see more devastating flooding. And some of these areas have yet to even recover. They haven't even planted any crops because it's still covered in water. So this is a dire situation when it comes to U.S. farmland. Many of the mainstream media outlets not saying a single word about this, although the big corporations here like the NOAA, they're putting out these warnings and saying this is what we're expecting. The worst is yet to come. So that also means that some of those nuclear plants that were along those rivers that were potentially affected, they too are once again going to have to go into emergency shutdown mode and all that. So this opens up a whole bunch of different issues as the flooding gets worse. So for many right now, like I said, they're not seeing it and they're not hearing their mainstream media talk about this. So they're going to get caught by surprise. Don't be one of them. I'm going to leave a link here. I'll continue to update with information as things change. This has been Dabu7.